Hello there, and welcome. If you're watching this video, there's a good chance you've been lying awake at night, feeling your mind race with thoughts that just won't quiet down. Maybe you've been tossing and turning, feeling that familiar knot of anxiety in your chest, wondering why sleep seems so much harder to find than it used to be. Perhaps you wake up feeling more tired than when you went to bed, carrying that heavy feeling of worry that seems to settle in just when you're trying to rest. I want you to know something important right from the start. You are not alone in this struggle. What you're experiencing is incredibly common, especially for those of us who are 60 and older. That restless mind, those racing thoughts, that feeling like you can't quite switch off at the end of the day, these are experiences shared by millions of people in your age group. And here's something else that's important to understand. This isn't a character flaw, it's not a sign of weakness, and it's certainly not something you just have to accept as part of getting older. Tonight, I'm going to share with you a gentle, natural evening routine that has helped countless seniors find their way back to peaceful nights and restful sleep. This isn't about quick fixes or complicated medical interventions. Instead, it's about creating a simple, nurturing routine that works with your body's natural rhythms to calm your nervous system and ease that anxious mind. Now, I want to be clear about something. What I'm sharing with you today is a routine, not a magic pill. It's about making small, intentional changes to how you spend those precious hours before sleep. Some of you might start feeling calmer tonight after trying just one or two of these practices. Others might notice the difference after a few days or a week. The beautiful thing about this approach is that it's cumulative. Each night you practice this routine, you're building a foundation of calm that gets stronger over time. Before we dive into the routine itself, I think it's important to understand why anxiety seems to get worse at night as we age. When we understand what's happening in our bodies and minds, we can work with these changes rather than against them. As we move through our 60s, 70s, and beyond, our bodies undergo some significant changes that can directly impact how we feel in the evening hours. One of the most important changes involves our hormones, particularly melatonin and cortisol. Melatonin is often called the sleep hormone, and our bodies naturally produce less of it as we age. This means that the gentle drowsiness that used to come naturally in the evening might not arrive as easily or predictably as it once did. At the same time, our cortisol patterns can become less stable. Cortisol is our stress hormone, and in a healthy system it should be highest in the morning to help us wake up and feel alert, then gradually decline throughout the day so we can feel calm and ready for sleep by evening. But as we age, this pattern can become disrupted. Sometimes cortisol stays elevated into the evening hours, keeping our minds alert and our bodies tense just when we need to be winding down. There's another factor at play here that many people don't realize. Our nervous systems, which have been working hard for decades to help us navigate life's challenges, can become less efficient at switching between states of alertness and states of rest. Think of it like a light switch that used to flip easily between on and off, but now sometimes gets stuck in the middle position. This means that even when we want to relax, our nervous system might still be humming with background tension. Then there are the lifestyle factors that can compound these natural changes. Many of us have developed habits over the years that, while they might have worked when we were younger, can now interfere with our ability to calm down in the evening. Things like watching intense television shows, or scrolling through news on our phones, eating heavy meals late in the day, or even just sitting for long periods without movement can all contribute to that restless, anxious feeling at bedtime. But here's the encouraging news. While these changes are natural parts of aging, they don't have to control your nights or your sleep. By understanding what's happening and making some gentle adjustments to your evening routine, you can work with your body to create the conditions for calm, restful nights. The routine I'm about to share with you addresses each of these factors in a gentle, sustainable way. It's designed specifically with the needs and realities of people over 60 in mind. You don't need special equipment, expensive supplements, or complicated techniques. Everything I'm going to suggest can be done in the comfort of your own home, at your own pace, with things you likely already have available. Let's begin with the first step of this calming evening routine, and that's creating a technology boundary 1 hour before you plan to go to bed. I know this might sound challenging at first, especially if you're used to watching television or checking your phone right up until bedtime. But hear me out on why this is so important. The screens on our televisions, computers, tablets, and phones emit what's called blue light. This type of light tells our brains that it's still daytime, which interferes with our natural production of melatonin. Remember, we're already producing less melatonin than we used to, so we don't want to make it even harder for our bodies to create this important sleep hormone. But it's not just about the light. The content we consume on these devices can be emotionally and mentally stimulating in ways that keep our minds active and alert. Whether it's the news, social media, or even an engaging television program, our brains are processing information and potentially triggering stress responses right when we need to be calming down. So here's what I suggest. Choose a time that's 1 hour before you typically want to fall asleep and make that your technology cutoff time. If you usually go to bed at 10, then 9 o'clock becomes your time to turn off the screens. Instead of reaching for your phone or turning on the television, you're going to engage in activities that actively calm your nervous system. I understand that this might feel like a big change, especially if evening screen time has become a habit. That's okay. You can start gradually if you need to. Maybe begin with 30 minutes of screen-free time and work your way up to a full hour. The important thing is that you're creating space in your evening for activities that truly support rest and relaxation. Now let's talk about the next step in our routine, and that's preparing a warm, calming herbal tea. This isn't just about having something warm to sip. It's about creating a ritual that signals to your body and mind that it's time to transition into rest mode. Chamomile tea is probably the most well-known calming herb, and for good reason. Chamomile contains compounds that have a gentle sedative effect and can help reduce anxiety. But there are other wonderful options as well. Passion flower tea has been used for centuries to calm nervous tension. Lemon balm is another gentle herb that can help quiet a busy mind. Lavender tea, with its beautiful floral scent, can be incredibly soothing. Even a simple cup of warm milk with a pinch of cinnamon can be comforting and calming. The key here is not just what you're drinking, but how you prepare and consume it. Make this into a mindful ritual. As you heat the water, focus on the sound it makes as it comes to a boil. As you pour it over your tea bag or herbs, notice the steam rising and the aroma filling the air. Hold the warm cup in your hands and feel that gentle heat. Sip slowly, really tasting the tea and feeling its warmth as it travels down your throat. This mindful approach to tea drinking serves multiple purposes. First, it gives your hands and mind something gentle and soothing to focus on, which can help interrupt those racing thoughts. Second, the warmth of the tea can help relax tense muscles and create a sense of physical comfort. Third, many of these herbs have genuine calming properties that can help reduce anxiety and prepare your body for sleep. While you're sipping your tea, we move into the third step of our routine, which is gentle journaling, or what I like to call a mental clearing practice. Now, don't worry if you've never considered yourself a writer, or if the idea of journaling feels intimidating. This isn't about creating literary masterpieces. It's about giving your mind a safe place to release all those thoughts that tend to circulate and build up throughout the day. Here's how to approach this practice. Get a simple notebook or even just a few sheets of paper and keep them by your bedside or wherever you're doing your evening routine. As you're drinking your tea, simply write down whatever comes to mind. It might be things you need to remember to do tomorrow, worries that are weighing on your heart, highlights from your day, or just random thoughts that are floating around in your head. The magic of this practice isn't in what you write, but in the act of transferring those thoughts from your mind onto paper. When we keep thoughts circling in our heads, they tend to gain momentum and intensity, like a snowball rolling downhill. But when we write them down, we externalize them. We give them a place to live outside of our minds, which can provide tremendous relief. You might write about concerns you have about your health, your family, or changes happening in your life. You might jot down things you're grateful for from the day. You might even write about how you're feeling in that moment, including any anxiety or restlessness you're experiencing. There's no right or wrong way to do this. Some nights you might write for 15 minutes. Other nights, just a few sentences might be enough. The important thing is that you're creating a practice of mental clearing that helps prevent those thoughts from churning in your mind once your head hits the pillow. After you've spent some time with your tea and your journal, we move into the fourth step of our routine, which is a gentle breathing practice designed specifically to activate your body's relaxation response. Now, I know that breathing exercises can sometimes feel awkward or complicated, but I'm going to share with you a very simple technique that anyone can do, regardless of their physical condition or experience with breathing practices. This technique is called 4-7-8 breathing, and it's incredibly effective for calming anxiety and preparing your body for sleep. Here's how it works. You're going to breathe in through your nose for a count of 4, hold that breath for a count of 7, and then exhale slowly through your mouth for a count of 8. Let's walk through this together. First, find a comfortable position, either sitting in a chair with your feet flat on the floor or lying down if that feels better. Place one hand on your chest and one hand on your belly. As you breathe, you want to focus on breathing deeply enough that the hand on your belly rises and falls, rather than just the hand on your chest. Now breathe in slowly through your nose as you count 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel your belly gently expanding. Now hold that breath as you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now exhale slowly through your mouth, making a soft whooshing sound if that feels natural. As you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Feel your belly gently contracting as the air leaves your body. That's one complete cycle. Start with just 3 or 4 cycles, and as you become more comfortable with the technique, you can work up to 8 or 10 cycles. The beautiful thing about this breathing pattern is that it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's natural relaxation response. The extended exhale in particular sends a signal to your nervous system that it's safe to relax and let go. Don't worry if it feels awkward at first or if you lose count. That's completely normal. The benefits come from the practice itself, not from doing it perfectly. Some nights your mind might wander during the breathing, and that's okay too. Simply bring your attention back to the counting and the sensation of your breath. The fifth step in our evening routine involves caring for your body in a way that promotes both physical and emotional relaxation. This is where we're going to talk about the power of warm water therapy, specifically through a simple foot soak or, if you prefer and are able, a warm bath. Our feet carry us through each day, and they often hold tension that we're not even aware of. A warm foot soak can be incredibly soothing and can help signal to your entire body that it's time to relax. Fill a basin or large bowl with comfortably warm water, just deep enough to cover your feet and ankles. You can add Epsom salts if you have them, which can help relax muscles, or a few drops of lavender essential oil for its calming scent. As you soak your feet, focus on the sensation of the warm water. Notice how the heat gradually penetrates your skin and seems to melt away tension. This is another opportunity for mindfulness, for being present in your body rather than caught up in your thoughts. Let yourself really feel the warmth, the way your muscles begin to soften, the sense of being cared for and nurtured. If you prefer and are able to do so safely, a warm bath can be even more effective. The full-body warmth of a bath can help relax muscles throughout your entire body and can be deeply comforting. Again, you can add Epsom salts or a small amount of lavender oil. Keep the water temperature warm but not hot, as water that's too hot can actually be stimulating rather than relaxing. Whether you choose a foot soak or a full bath, aim for about 10 to 15 minutes. This gives your body time to absorb the warmth and begin the relaxation process. As you soak, you might continue with gentle breathing, or you might simply let your mind rest in the pleasant sensations of warmth and comfort. While your feet are soaking, or after your bath, This is a perfect time to incorporate the sixth step of our routine, which is gentle movement or stretching. Now, this isn't about vigorous exercise or complicated yoga poses. Instead, we're talking about slow, gentle movements that help release physical tension and promote a sense of ease in your body. You can do these stretches while sitting in a chair, standing, or even lying in bed. The key is to move slowly and gently, never forcing or straining. Start by gently rolling your shoulders backwards a few times, then forwards. Notice if you've been holding tension in your shoulders without realizing it. Slowly turn your head to the right. Hold for a moment, then turn to the left. Lift your shoulders up toward your ears. Hold for a few seconds, then let them drop with a sigh. These simple movements help release the physical tension that can contribute to mental anxiety. If you're comfortable doing so, you might also try some gentle seated or standing twists. Simply turn your torso gently to one side, hold for a moment, then turn to the other side. Or try some gentle neck stretches by tilting your head slowly to one side, then the other. If you're lying in bed, you can do some gentle knee-to-chest stretches or simply stretch your arms above your head and point and flex your toes. The important thing is to listen to your body and only do what feels comfortable and good. These gentle movements serve several purposes in our evening routine. They help release physical tension that can interfere with sleep. They encourage blood circulation, and they provide another opportunity to focus your attention on your body rather than on anxious thoughts. Now we come to the seventh step of our routine, which is creating the right environment for sleep and engaging with calming sounds or silence. The environment where you sleep plays a crucial role in how easily you can relax and drift off to sleep. First, let's talk about your bedroom temperature. Most people sleep better in a slightly cool room, somewhere between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit if possible. Your body's core temperature naturally drops as you prepare for sleep, and a cooler room supports this natural process. Next, consider the lighting in your bedroom. Ideally, you want your sleeping space to be as dark as possible. Even small amounts of light can interfere with melatonin production. If you have street lights outside your window or other sources of light that you can't control, consider using blackout curtains or an eye mask. Now, let's talk about sound. Some people find complete silence most conducive to sleep, while others find gentle, consistent sounds more calming. If you live in an area with unpredictable noises like traffic or neighbors, a white noise machine or fan can help mask these disturbances with a consistent, gentle sound. Alternatively, you might enjoy very soft, slow instrumental music, or nature sounds like gentle rain, ocean waves, or forest sounds. The key is that whatever sounds you choose should be calm, predictable, and not likely to capture your attention or stimulate your mind. Some people find great comfort in listening to guided meditations or gentle spoken content designed specifically for sleep. There are many resources available that offer soothing voices, guiding you through relaxation exercises, or sharing calm, peaceful imagery. The important thing is to experiment and find what works best for you. You might find that what you prefer changes from night to night, and that's perfectly fine. The goal is to create an environment that feels safe, comfortable, and conducive to letting go of the day's tensions. As we near the end of our evening routine, I want to talk about the eighth and often overlooked step, which is being mindful about what you consume in the hours before bed. What we eat and drink in the evening can have a significant impact on our ability to feel calm and sleep well. Let's start with foods that can actually help promote calm and better sleep. Foods rich in magnesium like almonds, spinach, or pumpkin seeds can help relax muscles and calm the nervous system. Turkey contains tryptophan, an amino acid that can promote sleepiness. Tart cherry juice is a natural source of melatonin. Bananas contain both magnesium and potassium, which can help relax muscles. A small evening snack that combines complex carbohydrates with a small amount of protein can help stabilize blood sugar throughout the night, preventing those middle-of-the-night wake-ups that can be accompanied by anxiety. Think of something like a small bowl of oatmeal with a few nuts, or a piece of whole grain toast with a small amount of almond butter. On the other hand, there are foods and drinks that can work against our goal of evening calm. Caffeine is the obvious one, and it's important to remember that caffeine can stay in your system for 6 to 8 hours. This means that afternoon coffee or tea might still be affecting you at bedtime. Everyone's sensitivity is different, so pay attention to how your body responds. Alcohol might seem like it helps you relax initially, but it can actually disrupt your sleep patterns and increase anxiety. While a glass of wine might make you feel drowsy at first, alcohol interferes with the deeper stages of sleep and can cause you to wake up feeling more anxious than when you went to bed. Large, heavy, or spicy meals close to bedtime can cause discomfort and indigestion that interfere with relaxation. Try to finish eating at least 2 to 3 hours before you plan to go to sleep. Sugar and refined carbohydrates can cause blood sugar spikes and crashes that can wake you up in the middle of the night and trigger anxiety. If you do want a small evening snack, choose something that provides steady, sustained energy rather than a quick sugar rush. As you're winding down with your evening routine, pay attention to how different foods and drinks affect your ability to feel calm and relaxed. Your body will give you valuable feedback if you listen to it. Now let's talk about the final step in our evening routine, which is perhaps the most important of all. This is the practice of self-compassion and gentle self-talk as you transition into sleep. The way we speak to ourselves in those quiet moments before sleep can have a profound impact on our ability to let go of anxiety and rest peacefully. Many of us have developed the habit of using those quiet evening moments to review our day with a critical eye, worrying about mistakes we made, things we forgot to do, or challenges we'll face tomorrow. While it's natural for our minds to review and process the day, we can learn to do this in a way that promotes peace rather than anxiety. Instead of lying in bed thinking about everything that went wrong or everything you need to worry about, try offering yourself the same kindness and understanding you would offer a dear friend. Acknowledge that you did your best today with the energy and resources you had available. Recognize that you are deserving of rest and peace. You might try some gentle, positive phrases to repeat to yourself as you settle into bed. Something like, "I have done enough today, and now it's time to rest." Or, "I am safe and cared for in this moment." Or simply, "I am allowed to let go and be at peace." If anxious thoughts arise, rather than fighting them or judging yourself for having them, try acknowledging them gently and then redirecting your attention. You might say to yourself, "I notice I'm having worried thoughts," and that's understandable. Right now, though, I'm choosing to focus on rest. Remember that learning to calm anxiety and improve sleep is a process, not a destination. Some nights will be easier than others, and that's completely normal. Be patient with yourself as you develop these new habits. Even if you only incorporate 1 or 2 elements of this routine at first, you're taking positive steps toward better nights and more peaceful sleep. I also want to acknowledge something important. If you've been struggling with anxiety and sleep difficulties for a long time, it's understandable if you feel skeptical about whether a simple routine like this can really make a difference. You might be thinking, "I've tried everything and nothing works for me." If those thoughts are arising, I want you to know that your skepticism is understandable, and it doesn't mean this won't work for you. Sometimes when we've been struggling for a long time, we forget that our bodies and minds have an incredible capacity for healing and restoration when given the right conditions. This routine works because it addresses the multiple factors that contribute to evening anxiety in a gentle, comprehensive way. It's not about forcing relaxation or fighting anxiety. Instead, it's about creating conditions that naturally support your body's own ability to calm and restore itself. You don't need to commit to doing every single step of this routine perfectly every night. Start with what feels manageable and appealing to you. Maybe tonight you just try turning off screens an hour before bed and having a cup of chamomile tea. Maybe tomorrow you add in a few minutes of gentle breathing. Build the routine gradually, in a way that feels sustainable and nurturing rather than overwhelming. It's also important to remember that this routine is designed to be flexible and adaptable to your specific needs and circumstances. If you live with others, you might need to adjust the timing or location of some activities. If you have physical limitations, you can modify the movement and stretching components. If you don't enjoy writing, you might prefer to do your mental clearing through quiet reflection rather than journaling. The key principles remain the same regardless of how you adapt the routine. Create boundaries with stimulating activities, engage in practices that calm your nervous system, address your physical comfort and environment, and treat yourself with kindness and compassion throughout the process. I want to share something with you that I think is important to understand. Many people over 60 have been living with some level of chronic stress for years, often without fully realizing it. This might be stress from health concerns, changes in family dynamics, financial worries, or simply the accumulated effects of decades of life's challenges. This chronic stress can make your nervous system hypersensitive, meaning it reacts more strongly to smaller triggers and takes longer to calm down after being activated. If this describes your experience, please know that this is not a permanent condition. Your nervous system has retained its ability to learn and adapt, even as you age. The routine I've shared with you today is designed to gently retrain your nervous system to recognize evening as a time for rest and restoration rather than continued vigilance and worry. Each night that you practice these calming activities, you're sending your nervous system the message that it's safe to relax, that you don't need to stay on high alert. This is why consistency is more important than perfection. It's better to do a shortened version of this routine every night than to do the full routine perfectly once or twice a week. Your nervous system learns from repetition and consistency. As you begin implementing this routine, you might notice some immediate benefits like feeling more relaxed during the routine itself or finding it easier to let go of the day's tensions. Other benefits might take longer to develop. You might find that after a week or two, you're sleeping more soundly, or that you're waking up feeling more refreshed. Some people notice that their overall anxiety levels begin to decrease, not just in the evening but throughout the day. This makes sense because better sleep and lower evening anxiety can improve your overall stress resilience and emotional regulation. Let me address one more important point. Sometimes when we start new self-care routines, we put pressure on ourselves to do everything perfectly or to see dramatic results immediately. This pressure can actually increase anxiety rather than reduce it. I encourage you to approach this routine with a spirit of gentle experimentation rather than rigid expectation. Some nights you might fall asleep easily after following the routine. Other nights, you might still lie awake for a while, but perhaps you'll notice that you feel calmer or less anxious during that wakeful time. Both of these are positive outcomes. Remember that good sleep hygiene and anxiety management are skills that develop over time. Just like learning to play an instrument or developing any other skill, it takes practice and patience. Be kind to yourself throughout this process. I also want to encourage you to pay attention to small improvements rather than waiting for dramatic changes. Maybe you'll notice that your shoulders feel less tense as you're getting ready for bed, or that you're not checking the clock as frequently during the night, or that you're having fewer racing thoughts as you lie in bed. These small shifts are significant and worth celebrating. As we wrap up our discussion of this evening routine, I want to remind you of something important. You deserve to have peaceful nights and restful sleep. You deserve to feel calm and at ease in your body and mind. These aren't luxuries or rewards that you need to earn. They are fundamental aspects of well-being that support your overall health and quality of life. Many seniors tell me that they feel guilty about spending time on self-care routines like this, especially if they have family members they're caring for, or if they feel like they should be using their time more productively. If you're having thoughts like these, I want to gently challenge them. Taking care of your own sleep and anxiety levels isn't selfish, it's necessary. When you're well-rested and emotionally balanced, you have more energy and patience to give to the people and activities that matter to you. When you're struggling with anxiety and poor sleep, everything else in your life becomes more difficult. Think of this evening routine as an investment in your overall well-being and in your ability to show up fully for whatever life brings you. You're not taking time away from other important things. You're creating the foundation that allows you to handle other important things with greater ease and resilience. I'd like to leave you with a challenge for the next 3 nights. Choose just 1 or 2 elements from this routine that feel most appealing or manageable to you, and commit to trying them for 3 consecutive nights. It might be the technology boundary and herbal tea, or the breathing exercise and gentle stretching, or the journaling and environmental adjustments. After 3 nights, take a moment to reflect on your experience. How did you feel during the routine? Did you notice any changes in your sleep or your overall sense of calm? What felt most helpful, and what might you like to add or adjust? This isn't about measuring success or failure. It's about gathering information about what works for your unique body and mind. Use this information to gradually build a routine that feels nurturing and sustainable for you. Before we end today, I want to acknowledge the courage it takes to try new approaches to long-standing challenges. If you've been struggling with anxiety and sleep difficulties for months or years, it can feel daunting to believe that anything might help. The fact that you're here, listening to this information and considering making changes, speaks to your resilience and your commitment to your own well-being. You have more control over your evening anxiety and sleep quality than you might realize. Small, gentle changes implemented consistently can create profound shifts in how you feel and how well you rest. You don't need to overhaul your entire life or make dramatic changes. You just need to be willing to try a few new approaches and be patient as your body and mind adapt to these healthier patterns. Remember, this is a practice of self-compassion as much as it is a routine for better sleep. Treat yourself with the same kindness and patience you would offer someone you love who is working to overcome a challenge. Celebrate small improvements, be gentle with yourself on difficult nights, and trust in your body's innate wisdom and capacity for healing. Your peaceful nights are waiting for you. They're not gone forever, and they're not impossible to reclaim. With patience, consistency, and the gentle practices I've shared with you today, you can create the conditions for the calm, restful sleep you deserve. Sweet dreams. And remember that each night is a new opportunity to practice caring for yourself in ways that promote peace, rest, and restoration. You've got this, and I'm rooting for you every step of the way. If you found this information helpful, I'd love for you to let me know by giving this video a like. And please share with us in the comments where you're watching from. Whether you're in a small town or a big city, here in the United States or somewhere else in the world, it means so much to know that this message is reaching people who can benefit from it. If you'd like to see more content like this, focusing on natural approaches to health and well-being for seniors, please consider subscribing to our channel. We're committed to providing practical, gentle guidance that respects your wisdom and experience while offering new tools for enhancing your quality of life. And if this video has been particularly valuable to you, if you feel like it's given you hope or practical tools that you can use tonight, please consider supporting our channel by clicking the thanks button below. Your support helps us continue creating content that truly serves the senior community and addresses the real challenges you face with compassion and practical solutions. Thank you for spending this time with me today, and here's to many nights of peaceful, restorative sleep ahead.